Hello Aries, and welcome to your reading for March the 24th through, oh my goodness. Welcome to, hello Aries, and welcome to your reading for February the 24th through March the 1st. I have meditated and shuffled off screen. But this is for Aries. Aries, what wonderful gifts, blessings, guidance and helpful information can you give Aries for February the 24th through March the 1st? Thank you guys so much for tuning in last week, for all the likes, all the comments and all the shares. You guys are simply the best. Simply the best. Better than all the rest. Shh, don't tell anyone. This is for your sun, moon, and rising. So check out leave what resonates and, take what resonates and leave the rest, and check out the other videos in the show more section below. I didn't realize that I hadn't posted all the links last week. So if you notice the links aren't posted, let me know, but you can also click on the playlist for February. The other readings will be in there, just in case I forget to post them afterwards, the links. All right, this is for Aries. Aries, what wonderful gifts, guidance, blessings, and helpful information can you give Aries for February the 24th through March the 1st? 3 cards for, one. Oh, that reminds me of me today. 2, 1, okay. One more card for Aries. Oh, there we are. I have a feeling that you had one of these cards last week. I always think that this is a card for you. We'll show it to you. Oh, Spirit is here. My nose is going 10 to the dozen. Always when I start these readings, it's crazy. Okay, these are clarifying cards for Aries. What wonderful gifts, guidance, blessings, and helpful information can you give Aries through these clarifying cards? Please clarify the 5. There it is. Please clarify there it is. And please clarify the... Oh, you've got 2. One actually fell on the floor. What was that? Let us have a look. Oh, okay. All right. Guys, if you'd like a personal reading, click on this link here. It'll take you to my website, and you can see the kind of readings that I offer. Check out my website anyway. Go visit. Go visit. All right. The first card out for you is the 5 of Swords. Oh my goodness, this reminds me today. I got stuck on social media. Oh my goodness, that's why I didn't get to these readings. I was commenting on posts that I should have stayed well enough away, because I was trying to correct their misinformation and they were not having it. And the 5 of Swords, because this is like winning a battle no matter what. So I know when to back out and allow them to be wrong. And one person just started calling me a libtard and all kinds of, cursing and all kinds of things like that. So I did kind of post a condescending message saying, which is this is the 5 of Swords. And I said, I'm so sorry that you're so terrible when I think about it. I'm so sorry that your vocabulary and intellect is so limited that you resort to cursing and personal insults. And then that's terrible too. I should have just backed out completely. But anyway, I did from one of the conversations and I said, you know what, let's respectfully agree to disagree. I won't change your mind, you won't change my mind, and let's leave it at that. That's how to back out of this. Not making condescending comments, or, you know, in case of the other person, she was insulting me personally. I didn't take it as an insult. I thought it was very intellectually limiting and vocabulary. There I go again. Anyway, so I say that this is the kind of argument, you know, it was a political debate that I shouldn't have engaged in, and yet I did. And so forewarned is forearmed. Do as I say, not as I do. Oops. Anyway, clarifying this card, the Five of Swords, is the Hanged Man. And the Hanged Man is kind of, you know, he's hanging from the tree of life. He's kind of a spiritual guy, and he's just hanging upside down, and he's looking at something from a different perspective. He's kind of got the time. He's in a, you know, he's not hurting. He's in a yoga pose. And he's sacrificing himself for the good of all. And he's really kind of hanging about and saying, oh, look, this looks very different from down here, upside down. And this is telling you to see this from a different perspective, you know, like backing out and allowing the others to be wrong. Or, you know, seeing things from a different perspective and understanding that we can't always change someone's mind, or we can't make them think the way we think. And we have to look at, you know, it's really important to respect someone else's opinion. And our strength is in diversity, right? So I respect someone who disagrees with me if we can have a healthy debate. And that means don't go down to base and get so frustrated and be filled with vitriol and hate. Like this other person was filled with vitriol and hate, and, you know, was very ill-informed. But that's where that comes from. Ignorance breeds contempt and makes people angry and frustrated. And yes, I get angry and frustrated too, but it's important not to express that towards others and not to take it so personally. I mean, be it tongue-in-cheek, laugh at it, you know? So this is really kind of taking a pause and looking at realizing your limitations. I realized that no matter what information I gave these people, they just, you know, they were saying fake news, that whatever it was, they just did not want to see it. They didn't want to believe it. They didn't want to see it. And that's okay. You know, I realized that I had to allow them to have their own opinions, and I couldn't change it no matter what information I put up there. And when I realize that, then I can back out, right? And that's what we have to do. It's okay to debate healthily, but not to, you know, don't practice hate speech or anything like that. You know, we have to look at our common ground, right? We have to look at our humanity. One of the people that was on that thread, I had worked with, so I knew this person, I knew him, and I knew that he was, you know, he can get very heated and very opinionated and very angry. And, you know, I just quoted my father. My father always used to say, opinions are like arseholes. Everyone has one, and we all think everyone else's stinks. A wise old man, my dad was. So I quoted that, and I departed from the conversation, or the debate, or the debase. So anyway, the next card out for you is the Eight of Cups. And the Eight of Cups is, well, this can be just wanting to walk. It's kind of a discontentment over your life. It's just wanting to walk away, leave everything behind. You want something more, right? This is like looking for something with deeper meaning. And I want to say something more, right? More meaningful to you. Now, when this card comes up, sometimes you have to kind of say to yourself, am I running away from my responsibilities? Am I running away from my vulnerabilities? What am I wanting to run away from? And where am I going to? Oh my God, that reminds me of that song. I'm not going to sing it, the Diana Ross song. Do you know where you're going to? Do you like the things that life is? Anyway, sometimes I get messages in songs, right? So I have a spirit guide that likes to sing. And she's with me. I love her. Anyway, so this is about wanting to walk away and wanting something more spiritual. And what I would say with this is, you know, be guided spiritually, and perhaps you need a spiritual mentor. And I would really, I would look at inspirational YouTube posts or you know, social media. Stay away sometimes from the stuff that's going to raise your blood pressure, right? And stay spiritually grounded. And I would say get in touch with spirits through meditation, through prayer. And what's clarifying the Eight of Cups is the Page of Wands. So I've got to go back to this. I'm being guided to come. I'm just going to show you the Page of Wands right there. He's also got salamanders on his gown. And that is an indication of spirituality, right? What I would say with the Eight of Cups is that this is kind of wanting to walk away from everything. But I would look at it as walking towards something, towards spirituality, being guided by spirit, and putting. So when you ask yourself, what am I running away from and where am I going to, you don't necessarily have to run away from. You can just go towards spirituality. So you put, if you want to run away from a job, you make decisions based on what is the highest good for everyone, right? If you want to get away from a relationship, stay in it for a moment and ask those questions. What am I running away from and where am I going to? What is it about this that is not feeling right? And remember to be spiritually centered before running away, because you could be running away from your vulnerabilities. And if you want to run away from a lifestyle or from friendships, the same applies. Now, the Page of Wands is saying that there's an opportunity here. And I'm getting that there's an opportunity for your personal expansion and growth. And this is, I feel that you are ready to go on to the next phase of your life spiritually. I feel that you are going to, I've been saying this for the last couple of years, that Aries are growing up. They are, some of you are awakening to a spiritual life, a spiritual way forward. And I feel that this, for some of you that are getting this message, that need to hear it, this is your chance to move on to the next phase of your life spiritually. And that encompasses all what you are experiencing in your life at this moment. It's all inclusive. And now look, this is interesting because you have the Strength card, right? And the Strength card is, you know, the antidote to the Five of Swords. This is about kindness and compassion. This is treating everyone with kindness and compassion. And that is your strength. That, you know, I feel that the Hanged Man is going to give you a moment's pause between thought and action. And I feel that that is in eternity, that pause between thought and action, or thought and speech. there is a moment in there that's eternity that can help you make a better choice, right? To be kinder, to be more compassionate, to understand rather than be understood. I feel that this is going to get you accolades because you have two cards here. You have the Six of Wands, which is amazing, and you have the Three of Pentacles. What I'm getting here is the Six of Wands is you being celebrated. This is you. Your strength, your kindness and compassion will be celebrated. You will be acknowledged for it. People will be in awe of you, really. And you have the Three of Pentacles right next to it. This is teamwork. This is about being a team player. This is about coming to the table and letting everyone be heard, being kind, being compassionate, be all-inclusive. Even when you want, if you're feeling, even when you're feeling vitriol towards others and you're feeling intolerant of their belief system or how they're behaving or what they're saying, take a moment, a pause in action. Take a moment before, between thought and action, and come through with kindness and compassion, because that is wisdom. And that is going to bring you more rewards, both personally, professionally, and spiritually. And will give you a connection that you've only dreamed of before. A much deeper, more meaningful connection with others, because really that's what we're here for. We're here to make those deep and meaningful connections with others. That's our job. We started out all as one, and when we came into this three-dimensional plane, we have the illusion of being separate. But our journey is to come together and to be one. Aries, thank you so much for tuning in. I really appreciate you guys. Please don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. Mwah. Oh, and don't forget, stay tuned for the astrological report coming up next. Mwah. I love you all, and I'll see you on the other side. Hello, and thank you so much for staying tuned for the astrological report to see what's happening in the celestial sky this week. That is the week of February the 24th through March the 1st. And we start on Monday, February the 24th. The Sun is sextile Mars at 9:06 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So that will be the next day in Europe, or earlier in the evening on the West Coast. So now this will increase your energy, this transit. It's a perfect time to kind of tackle any projects that you've kind of left on the shelf. And this is a really good time to kind of get that done. And also you'll have the stamina to see it through to completion. So this is a wonderful energy to take advantage of. Now, February the 25th, the Sun is conjunct Mercury at 12:59 a.m. So it'll be the day before on the West Coast, but it's on Monday in New York and in Europe. Now, this is a lively, chatty time, right? The Sun is energizing, so it's going to kind of energize your communication, because Mercury is about communication, the intellect, and siblings and local travel. So your speech pattern may be faster than normal. You may be a little more chatty, but still be careful, because remember that Mercury is in retrograde. So things that you say may be misinterpreted or misconstrued. So be very thoughtful before you say something, even though it's kind of very that kind of thing, I kind of get that. I talk very fast, and sometimes my thought process is so fast I can't get it out of my mouth. So sometimes it can have you like that. So it's but it's energizing, it's fun, it's engaging. So it's definitely a way of making connections and perhaps posting something on social media. So also be very careful about what you post on social media during this time. Now, on Friday, the 27th, Venus is square Pluto at 5:06 p.m. Now, this can be a very stressful aspect for relationships because it's about power and it's about control. Ultimatums are likely during this time. And listen, resist the urge to manipulate, because that's going to be front and foremost. It's about manipulation because you want the power over the relationship. So it's about spying. Don't look in emails. Don't look at things that you don't want to find. You know, we always find things if we're looking for it. So don't resist that urge. Let them have their privacy. And look, if it's meant to be, they'll be there. Listen, strong relationships will weather this transit. But relationships that are on thin ice could break up during this time, and you could feel that very heavy pain. It's a very deep and heavy pain. But as I say, resist the urge to spy on your partner, because it'll probably backfire if you do that. You're not going to gain anything from it, except perhaps pain. Now, also on the same day, although the next day, if you're in Europe, this is Friday, Mercury is sextile Uranus at 10:14 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So it's the next day in Europe. Now, this transit really quickens your mind, right? Because Mercury is the planet of intellect, and then Uranus is the higher octave of that. So it quickens things. So your mind works very fast, sudden, incredible, innovative ideas may come to you. So have a pen and paper and write these things down. There may be a gem in there. Now, have you ever had that kind of thing where you think of someone that you haven't seen for years, and then all of a sudden they pop up? You either get a message or you get a phone call or you bump into them. That's what this transit fosters. It fosters psychic ability and intuition, and things like that come up out of the blue. So you may come across some surprising news, perhaps when you're, surfing through the internet. So, and also very vivid dreams at this time. So pay attention to your dreams, because you could receive psychic messages in your dreams. So write them down when you wake up, because they may be really informative to you later. So guys, that is the astrological report for the week. Thank you so much. I'd just like to mention a couple of things. This is a viewers supported channel, and you can support this channel by either becoming a member. I now have a membership available. Just press the join button and there are some perks in there. Check them out. There are 2 levels of membership. I'm going to do videos only for members, and all kinds of perks and things that I'm planning to do. Also, I have a Patreon page, and I'd like to really thank my patrons that I have. They really help me out. So thank you so much. And you can check out my Patreon page. You can click on this link. It'll take you to my Patreon page, and it shows you things that I post there that I don't post anywhere else. I also have a Facebook group, guys, and twice a month I do a live feed within that Facebook group. I'm planning to do those live feeds just for members only in my membership section. It's in the community tab, and the community tab, we can hang out there and talk and message, and I put special posts, behind the scene posts there for memberships. Anyway, that's my sales pitch, darling. I just want to thank you all for tuning in, and of course, more than anything, I am available for readings. So check out my website. The links will be below in the show more section, and you can see what kind of services I offer. Thank you so much for tuning in. Please don't forget to like, share, comment, and if you haven't already, please subscribe. Mwah! I love you all, and I'll see you next week.